Hello, good evening. Welcome. This is Ghana Tonight. We're live on News Hub at Adesawe here in Kanda. Also live on 3FM 92.7. Coming up here on Ghana Tonight, we go straight into the issues. The choice to be made by Ghanaians on December 7 is one of a leadership issue. But what makes a good leader and what will Ghanaians be looking out for? That's a fundamental question that we asked many of you. And also the former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domelovo has a take on this. Stay with us here on your Election Command Center. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, wades into allegations of voter inducement made against a member of parliament for the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency, Lydia Seram Al-Hassan. We have details for you for exactly what SHRAJ intends to do on Constituency Watch here on your Election Command Center. We zoom straight into the Ashanti region, and there's a good reason why. The political parties have descended the region in the last days of campaigning, where the NDC flag bearer the 6-day tour there already in day 4. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also went there the second time after spending 15 days in that constituency. That's in the region earlier, sometime last week and a couple of weeks gone by. The question we're asking is, what are the dynamics in the Ashanti region? Stay with us. As always, you're an integral part of the conversation. Let's hear from you. The hashtag we're using is Ghana Tonight on Facebook and on X. Let's get talking. Well, let's settle for Ghana Briefs.
The National Election Security Task Force has warned political parties against dressing their foot soldiers in state security uniforms on election day with the intention of causing mayhem at polling stations. The chairman of the Election Security Task Force, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, gave the warning at a meeting with political party representatives in Accra.
This culture of machoism, thinking that biceps are the basis for determining one's strength. We are not going to be overcomplacent and thinking that that is the end of the game, because our intelligence space shows that there are pockets of them around wanting to take things to a level that we will not tolerate. Because anybody of that caliber, anywhere, near any polling station, in your quest to intimidate people, to make them feel very unwelcome to exercise their franchise, we'll find you a place to sleep.
Parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso West Wuogon, Mr. John Dumelo, has lodged a formal complaint with the Office of the Special Prosecutor against the incumbent Member of Parliament, Ms. Lydia Seram Al-Hassan. The complaint alleges acts of electoral malpractice during the special voting exercise held on December 2, 2024 at the Legon District Police Station. According to Mr. Dumelo's complaint, his polling agent observed Ms. Al-Hassan and a group of her supporters distributing white plastic bags containing food and other items to voters in the queue. The Ashanti Regional Branch of the New Patriotic Party (NPP) has reaffirmed its strong determination to make every single ballot count on December 7. Addressing the media, regional organizer Dr. Francis Adomako accused the National Democratic Congress of deploying intimidation tactics to fuel voter apathy in the stronghold of the NPP.
Every form of crude tactics and intimidation will be opposed fiercely. We urge the police service, military, and other security services to work and act professionally. We also urge the electoral officers to work professionally, not in any way that will create rejected ballot or compromise any votes. To the good people of Ashanti region, we commit to making sure your vote counts and that nobody will be allowed to intimidate you on the polling day.
Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has announced that Ghana is expected to receive the fourth tranche of $360 million under the International Monetary Fund (IMF) program before the 2024 general elections. According to him, the country has successfully completed the third review under the program, meeting all set criteria.
We've met all the 6 end June 2024 quantitative performance criteria and all 4 end June 2024 indicative targets. It is instructive to note that this is the first time Ghana has met all the indicative targets in a review.
This is your Election Command Center. Some 4 days to Election Day, December 7. Office of the Special Prosecutor coming up next here on Ghana Tonight. Petitions to, and in fact, has been petitioned to investigate allegations of voter inducement made against a member of parliament for the Ayawaso West Ward constituency as the leader, Sarah Malas. And that's coming up next here on Ghana Tonight during the special voting. But she is insisting she did not share any food. Well, that's her position, and she's been speaking on this. And in fact, a number of you have also weighed in on this particular issue and demanding that some action be taken beyond the public outcry and the condemnation that we've heard from various courts in this country. But the commissioner of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Raj, Dr. Joseph Whittal, has criticized Lydia Al-Hassan, a member of parliament for the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency, for distributing food during Monday's special voting exercise. I want to take a listen to that's Dr. Joseph Whittal on this particular issue, and we'll hear from the member of parliament. Take a look.
Well, we were not there, but we saw the media carried certain unsettling developments, particularly in Ayawaso West Wugon, and it falls within the checklist that we use to monitor. And that is particularly, I'm not saying it is true. I know the member of parliament has denied it, but it's not right to treat as the legal term, to share food, to share money to anybody in a queue in preparation to vote, because it is tantamount to corruption and an integrity issue. So having seen that could happen even to security officials, we have always assumed that would not be the case. It never happened in the past, but this time around, it seems it has happened. So we will factor that into our next election, right? When we monitor, we get the evidence. The evidence will now be presented with recommendations to the appropriate institution that has a duty to carry it out. In this case, Special Prosecutor has the role to play because of the particular allegations that are involved in this one. We're looking at corruption and corruption-related. In the course of an election, this has been captured in our Criminal Offences Act. So we would have made referral to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, or in the absence of the Special Prosecutor, to the Attorney General as a general criminal allegation. So my worry is, or let me not say worry, mine was, when I looked at the video, it was more of an embarrassment, because security officials must be security conscious. How can you come to exercise your franchise and somebody gives you food which you don't even know where the food is coming from, and you take it and you are happy that it's okay to take it, particularly when you are being given the opportunity to exercise that franchise in order to go and secure the environment on the 7th for all Ghanaians to exercise their franchise. And you've started it on a false note. What happens if you go to the field and other people come to share food to people in line? Are you sure you will be able to cause any arrest? Because you don't see it as a problem. That is at the level of the individual officers who were in this situation. But to the, not only Ghana Police, but all the security agencies, their leadership, this is to tell them this is a low performance. They ought to, when it comes to election issues, they need to be very careful and to include the distribution of money, food, and other items, generally speaking, within the precincts of the polling station. That is something they ought to go back to the drawing board and next time try to get it right.
That's Joseph Whittal. He heads the Commission on Human Rights, Restorative Justice, that's SHRAC. They've been petitioned by John Dumelo, who is the parliamentary candidate for the Ayawaso West constituency on the ticket of the NDC going into this election. And already the special prosecutor, in fact, has also been petitioned on this particular issue and also looking into it. As of yesterday, we got some reports of the OSP's, some officials from his office also wading into this matter. You hear Joseph Whittal raise questions about the conduct of the security personnel as well there who received this money. And it's going to be on your screen, this food, I beg your pardon, it's going to be on your screen right now. That's what you see there. For the benefit of those listening to us on 3FM 92.7, of this video, which has gone viral, of the person you see in the black cap is the Member of Parliament, the incumbent MP for Ayawaso West Wogon, Lydia Alhassan, who had earlier denied knowledge of this whole incident of sharing these packs that is said to contain some food. Some persons associated with her say it was snacks and water, but whatever it is, it was some packs were shared to these security personnel. You see some of the security personnel agents that they also in there in the queue, even demanding for the food. They went to these persons sharing and asking for their packs. And that's what Joseph Whittal says. You know what? I mean, if you have security personnel openly, glaringly, publicly violating the electoral laws like this, demanding food from an incumbent MP who is also a contender in this election, in that constituency, then really, on election day, are they going to have that moral right and even that level of consciousness to see that if another candidate is sharing food, it's wrong? Because they are not even seeing this as wrong, and they're actually even going ahead. You see the lady there in uniform demanding the food. Stretching hand, getting water and all of that from these persons who are sharing the food with the Member of Parliament. Right. So for the MP, she has been talking and initially indicated that, well, she didn't even have knowledge of this. She didn't know anything about this particular incident and what had happened. And we want to hear from the MP now, and she granted an interview on radio earlier, that was after this incident, claiming that she had no knowledge of this. She wasn't even there at this particular venue where this incident happened. Take a look.
I wasn't here. I don't know if you saw me here. I've been here since I came here before 6 a.m. and I left here a few minutes ago. I don't even know what you're talking about. I am yet to find out from them what happened.
If you just probably didn't hear that very well, we transcribed it, so it's going to be on your screen right now. The voice you heard is Lydia Alhassan, who is an incumbent MP for Ayawaso West Wogon, indicating that she wasn't even at this center. And she doesn't know if we saw her. So she was talking to the media, saying, I don't know if you saw me here. I've been here since. I came here before 6 a.m. and I left here a few minutes ago. I don't even know what you're talking about. This matter of sharing food, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm yet to even find out from them what exactly happened. So when she said this, then we sought to find out. Did we get the identity of the person in the video wrong? I want you to take a look at this, because the person in the blue cap is the member of parliament. That's Lydia Alasan. So if she's claiming that she wasn't at this venue, who was then wearing this the blue cap in the white shirt and then the blue trousers? Who was that? Is someone impersonating her, or she's probably just saying that she wasn't there because she didn't know that the media had videos of this food sharing? But this video, we understand the special prosecutor has seen it, the Shraj boss has seen it, and that's why he speaks with that sense of condemnation in there. So based on this, the evidence in this video, clearly, the questions about the MP saying she didn't know about this cannot be true. But Adam Senano is a co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption, is joining us on Zoom right now. Mr. Senano, I'm sure you've heard the back and forth on this, and the position that persons, that's the MP herself, her associates, and even Shraj have spoken on this. But in all of this, is this defensible in any way from the anti-corruption perspective?
Well, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation where an honorable member of parliament puts themselves in a position like this, especially if the footage is accurate. She, amongst most people, ought to have known better that you cannot engage in such activities at this time when you have security agencies and other persons who are supposed to serve the nation on Saturday doing their voting. Both those who received as well as the person giving are persons of interest because they have both engaged in a crime under the law, which is vote buying or vote selling. And that's a breach of our laws. So they ought to be interrogated or interviewed. And if the facts are confirmed, the necessary legal proceedings going to court, and the sanctions must follow.
Talk about sanctions following, Ms. Ano, I lost you briefly there, but personnel of the security agencies who were in this queue, you say as well, just as Joseph Wutta was talking about, they should have rejected the food that was given to them by the MP?
Absolutely. And that already makes them a risk if they're going to be deployed. They ought not to be deployed. So the identities ought to be established, and they ought not to be deployed. It tells you that there is a weakness in the understanding of the do's and don'ts around our electoral processes. And so they are not, as it were, fit to be engaged in these activities if they're receiving these kind of items from somebody who herself is part of the process. It's part of the election process and ought to have been neutral.
I see, but beyond all of this public outcry and condemnation coming from you, and we've heard from Shraj and other anti-corruption persons who have spoken about this, and indeed, the members, general public, a number of them commenting on this, and it is on record. Beyond all of this, who has to take action to punish? That is, if indeed the laws, electoral laws have been broken, who has to take that action to punish, to serve as a deterrent to other persons who will be thinking of doing the same thing on election day, December 7th? Ms. Ano.
I think that first of all, the key stakeholder here is the Electoral Commission itself. But But as you know, every stakeholder, citizens inclusive, are able to report. I hear somebody has reported to the OSP and they've taken up the issue. Once it's established, that people can be processed for court. So I don't see it as the purview, even though the EC is a key stakeholder here. I've seen that others who are mindful or aware of the facts of the crime can report it, especially if they have evidence. And that evidence can be used to corroborate what transpired, on which basis the individuals involved investigated and taken to court, because the electoral laws on this are clear.
I see, electoral are clear on this, but John DeMello, in fact, is the one who has reported this matter to the special prosecutor based on the information that we do have, and already special prosecutor looking into it as well. And there are those who also hold a view. I'm going to bring you here at this point. If you can hear me, those who hold the view that the special prosecutor hasn't exhibited so much commitment in getting into these matters of voter inducement, vote buying, in previous instances that have been reported to him. I mean, the Kwadaso member of parliament, who is now a deputy education minister, that particular incident that was captured on video as well, he given an envelope to some electoral officers. The OSP has gotten into it. We haven't, that's what is on the screen right now. He's now a deputy minister of education. This matter was reported to the special prosecutor. The OSP is said to be investigating it, and we haven't seen the end of it as yet. And we're going into an election, a crucial one for that matter. So to the extent that even this matter that was captured on video, no action of punishment has been taken. There are many who express some level of lack of commitment or support for the OSP going into this. Would you support that?
That is a shame. I mean, really, it's a good reminder. I remember that case quite well. Ideally, even if they have faced difficulties in prosecuting, interrogating and prosecuting, they ought to come back to the public and tell us what the difficulties are. Left to me, in this instance, for example, latest by Thursday, there should be a public statement to let us know whether they have established the facts and what they're going to do about it, to boost the confidence of all citizens that we mean serious business about this thing of arresting and prosecuting anyone who interferes with the process or goes against the electoral laws. This shouldn't be one of those things that takes forever, and the sooner the better to set the precedent and the tone for Saturday's election proceedings.
And what, in your view, and finally, before I let you go, what is the risk that we are faced with if nothing is done about this, or these instances I've just referred to, 3 days away from this election? What risks are we faced with?
Well, the risk is that persons may believe that they can get away with impunity. So you may have many more repeat instances happening across the length and breadth of the country. The risk also is that those who have been deployed, as it were, to protect the poll, keep the sanctity of the process, ensure peace, may themselves be engaged in actions that undermine the electoral process if they are not mindful of things like this. So there's a substantive risk if our people who are supposed to be part of the process don't understand the do's and don'ts, and they themselves are going to engage in actions like this. I think that this is an opportunity, really important opportunity to do some extra public education over the next 72 hours.
Well, Zano, we'll see how things play out on this. Talk about in the next 72 hours, something must be done. We'll see if that expectation you have would be fulfilled. But then again, this is not the only incident that we have seen captured on video. apart from what was captured on video in this Ayawaso West Wogon constituency involving the incumbent MP, as I made reference to what happened during the Ejiso by-election, the Kwadaso MP, who is now a Deputy Education Minister, Dr. Kingsley Nyako, was also captured on video, and we're going to put that on the screen right now. You see this, that this one that clearly had him take out an envelope and give it to the electoral officers at that particular polling station in their Ejiso constituency. Well, we do know that the OSP was called in. This matter was reported. We don't know the end of it as yet. The police also got into it, invited him, they're investigating the matter. We haven't seen any action taken as yet, despite this also being captured on video. And we're going into this election. But this is a matter that we're going to continue shining the light on, remain your election command center. The countdown is on, and we are some 4 days away from election day, December 7th. How our very own Tilapia, the cartoonist, captured this whole issue on the cartoon. You find this on 3news.com. Yeah, she's it's the same. It wasn't me. If you're old enough, you remember that song. But that's by Shaggy. It says even if you caught me on camera, it wasn't me. Essentially, capturing what the Member of Parliament said, even though there was a video that captures her in that blue cap and also the blue trousers, white shirt. There you have it. And this is a matter that we'll see how things play out. And Adam Senanu has an expectation that in the next two days, something should happen on this. But coming up next here on Ghana Tonight, we're going to go for a quick break. When we're back, we'll go straight into the matters of leadership. Leadership is still on the elections and matters arising. And Daniel Yao Demelovo has been talking about the kind of leader, in his view, that you should be looking out for and the qualities that you should look out for in the kind of leader that you're going to vote for on December 7th. Stay with us. Daniel Yao Demelovo is a former Auditor General of the Republic of Ghana. He has a take on this. Stay with us.
We have all heard the cry of a nation in turmoil, and we need a leader who is capable, a leader who is caring, a leader who will not just engage in sloganeering, but a leader who has depth and makes decisions that will endure to the long-term benefit of the country. I think that in the last few years, this country has experienced what I call an vote for change.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
A fade omu disika ebe tomadwene. Ama wahu se o de ya chino koma amfienso a last minute ya disika kakra bi ba ye beto wadwene. This time muma ya nchire o madwene se ya nchire mu se sensuo to ye ne yantia ade achi ye forma fonso ye huni enti ubesi ye so anka ahye ye ma mfienso ye ma padwuma ye nya bi police ye nya bi migration ye nya bi fire service ye nya bi prisons ye nya bi teaching ye nya bi nursing ye nya bi local government here nyabi ena ebinom ton wo delegate wo ko pay dwuma ma abakora ye sit you 10,000 me call Bolga Upper East one of the regional executives catch them say ne bagel or pay police amano kura omo gene 10,000 Ghana city and so we nya dwuma na amane bas ti momma obi obetimi ama adwuma ba adwuma owa ehia so bokọ tua sika.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Phoenix Club, uplifting women. Phoenix Club, uplifting women. Phoenix Club, uplifting women. Thank you very much for having me here today. The nation builder John Mahama and Professor Nana Jane are bringing you the Women's Development Bank. Whoa! It is a very special bank run by only women, to serve only women. The aim is to empower millions of women across the country. The bank will have branches all over the nation to provide you with loans with very low interest and on very flexible terms.
Madam, I run a small makeup and nail bar. Do I qualify for a loan?
No need to bother, my sister. I mean hairdressers, market women, women-owned online businesses, female graduates, women in the corporate world, traders, agri, women in all fields qualify for loans. With John Mahama and Professor Nana Jane at the helm, the Ghanaian woman will surely rise.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Experience the future of transport.
A fedi omo disika ebe tomadwene. Ama won say o de ye cheno koma amfie nso a last minute ye disika kakra bi ba ye beto wadwene. This time muma ye nchire o madwene se ye nchire hu se sensuo to ye ne yantia ade echi ye forma fonso ye huni enti ubesi ye so anka ahye ye ma mfie nso ye ma padwuma ye nya bi police ye nya bi migration ye nya bi fire service ye nya bi prisons ye nya bi teaching ye nya bi nursing ye nya bi local government ye nya bi ena ebinom ton wo delegate wo ko padwuma ma abakora ye sit you 10,000 me call Bolga Upper East one of the regional executives catch them say ne bagel or pay police amano kura omo gene 10,000 Ghana city and so we nya dwuma na amane bas ti momma obi obetimi ama adwuma ba adwuma owa ehia so bokọ tua sika.
Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
I'm a Ghanaian and I love luxury accredited faith. And I love democracy.
December 7th, Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace, I give it to you all.
I love Ghana.
Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody.
One Ghana. Ghana Bakumpe.
This message brought to you from the luxury accredited faith.
Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
One of the most important and popular forms of communication is through a television set, and not just any television set, but Franco television set. We have smart and LED TVs ranging from the smallest of 32 inches to the biggest of 86 inches. Franco television is easy to operate, it gives you the best picture, and it has distinctive features like Maracas, USB, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and 4K resolution pictures. Rush now to any of our branches nationwide or on our website at www.francotrading.com. You can call the numbers on the screen for any assistance. Franco Trading Enterprise is still the home of quality televisions.
Welcome back to Ghana Tonight. We're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, DSTV channel 279, all across the world on 3news.com, also on 3FM 92.7. There's some news coming through right now, and this is happening now as we speak. In fact, we got information of an accident that just happened some few minutes ago, and the Ghana National Fire Service has been on this one, and Alex Kinate is joining us right now for some information on this breaking news coming through, which has been developing over the last 5 minutes gone by. And a very, very unfortunate incident. We see there the vehicles that have been damaged beyond recognition, and in fact, some of the vehicles have had to be dismantled by the Ghana National Fire Service officials there, cut into pieces to be able to retrieve some of the bodies that were, as we speak now, captured, unfortunately, in this mangled vehicle. The initial information is that 4 vehicles were involved in this ghastly accident, and Alex Kinate is with the Public Relations Office of the Ghana National Fire Service. He's joining us right now. Mr. Kinate, appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Very serious and ghastly accident we see there. Tell us more about what we're seeing right now.
I
was asking if you could tell us more about this unfortunate incident we're just hearing of now.
Okay, so when you said that happened at the overhead just around the filling station, four vehicles. One vehicle is totally mangled. We just received one body. Our officers did very well to retrieve one dead body. We are trying to confirm it to the only person in the vehicle. So we just took out the vehicle to be able to take her out. So we just took her out, and we are trying to confirm it. There's any other person in the vehicle.
And so this happened on the Pokwase Highway?
Yes, on the Pokwase Highway, on the outer in the lane that goes through to the top. That goes through to the top. And so currently, we were able to retrieve the other people who were not dead, that were injured, and they've been transported to hospital. But the other vehicle, which looks like a Toyota, because it's mangled, it's difficult to identify. It looks like a Toyota Corolla. It's totally mangled, and the lady is totally decapitated. So we just cut through the vehicle and took her body out. So we are trying to cut through the rest of the vehicles to confirm or ascertain if there's any other person again in the vehicle to be able to get the person out of the vehicle.
So if I get the understanding, this Toyota Corolla vehicle, that's what we are saying now, mangled, and you're saying there was a lady that was driving, and the lady's body is totally decapitated?
Exactly, yes. Her hands are totally smashed, and it's a very scene. Yeah, we are doing our best. It looks like it involves 4 vehicles. I'm looking at another vehicle here, the head of the truck that came off. I'm trying to confirm we are still doing the rescue, so I couldn't get enough information as to the vehicles involved, but there's a truck whose head has been cut off from the trailer itself as a result of the accident. There were other trailers around another vehicle, so we are doing our best to make sure that we're able to retrieve the bodies and give the bodies some dignity.
So, in all, how many dead bodies have you recovered as we speak?
Okay, so for now, I can speak to the body that we just recovered. One lady, she might be in the mid-30s or 40s. That's what we suspect. And so we just took her out of the mangled vehicle. We are still checking. So for now, the other vehicles, the people who were injured, who've been transported to the hospital. So I'll do well to get all that information and share with you in the time.
And apart from this Toyota Corolla vehicle you talk about, which other vehicles were involved in this? Because we're saying 4 vehicles were involved in this crash.
Yes, from the briefing I've received from our men, 4 vehicles. So as I said, there's a long truck carrying missing sheets. That has its head decoupled from the body. I see other mangled vehicles which we are trying to confirm the make or model of the vehicles.
Because they've been destroyed beyond recognition.
Yes, the car where we just retrieved the lady from is totally mangled beyond recognition.
And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing on the screen right now. This Toyota Corolla vehicle that the lady was driving. Understand? Fortunate news is that this driver of this vehicle did not survive this accident.
I'm even trying to confirm if it's really a Corolla, because looking at the mangled seat, it's difficult to ascertain the kind of car it is. But it's a red Kalun vehicle.
Alex Kenate, thank you very much for this. And this is some news that's coming through. It's been developing over the last 15 minutes that we got this information, and we've been working on our phones to just confirm this. But you just heard the Ghana National Fire Service member of the Public Relations Department, Alex Kenate, joining us there with some further detail on this. So this is a confirmation of this breaking news that's coming through. There's been an accident on the Pokwase Highway and involving 4 vehicles. One person has been confirmed dead as we speak, rather unfortunately. So we'll keep an eye on this one, and we'll be updating you as we go on. But coming up next here on Ghana Tonight, we go straight into the constituency watch. We'll hear from Daniel Yardemelovo coming up next. The Ashanti region is a crucial region to watch, but there are some 10 constituencies that will indeed substantially affect the outcome of the presidential election there. And that's a constituency watch that we're getting into here on your election command center, some 4 days away from today, election day, December 7. And this is your election command center constituency watch. Well, the Ashanti Regional Branch of the New Patriotic Party, they have reaffirmed a strong determination to make every single ballot count on December 7. Addressing the media earlier today, regional organizer Dr. Francis Adomako accused the NDC of deploying intimidation tactics to fuel voter apathy in the stronghold of the MPP. Take a look.
Every form of crude tactics and intimidation will be opposed fiercely. We urge the police service, military, and other security services to work and act professionally. We also urge the electoral officers to work professionally, not in any way that will create rejected ballot or compromise any votes. To the good people of Ashanti region, we commit to making sure your vote counts and that nobody will be allowed to intimidate you on the polling day. We are hopeful of a massive voter turnout on December 7, 2024. And the margin of victory for Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia will be wide and huge. We wish to call on all party supporters to be vigilant before, during, and the voting process afterwards. If possible, do not go home after the voting. Position yourself at a reasonable distance from the polling area, like we did in 2016.
Well, so that's the MPP in the Ashanti region. Well, guess what? John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the NDC, is also in the Ashanti region for a 6-day tour. Started 3 days ago, day 4, and it's been talking. In fact, on the second day, there was a rally that saw numbers in there as well. Let's take a look at this.
Kumasi Airport, up to now, April no omodaso yeah. So wako kobisen. Ezu. Na 419 the omunti mean data. Na no me share. Yes, so Ethiopian Airlines besha say Kumasi to London. They go busa Ethiopian Airlines. Say ye omu plane so be na chata and your man akasa and ombesha say and sa you know. Nya me pesa me catch and say Opera Uncle Sia Madam Hajia Semira Emra Nontu Nenkwada Nina Emra no fa nempa emra no men da asantimem okosoro eba foma abato ayebetui NDC bedin kunim
on day 2 of his campaign. Well, so that's John Dramani Mahama there, and clearly giving a message to the MPP. This is the stronghold of the MPP. That's the Ashanti region. This initiates us right into the conversation tonight about the 10 constituencies to watch in the Ashanti region. But in the latter part of November, between the middle of November to the end, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer of the MPP, spent 15 days in the Ashanti region. And especially because prior to that, there was that conversation about voter apathy and whether or not people in the Ashanti region are going to turn up because there's some trend analysis to that effect. So spending 15 days, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the Ashanti region, the stronghold of the MPP, clearly did indicate that they knew that they had to do quite some work in whipping up the people to turn up on December 7 to vote, because they are targeting a percentage I'm going to tell you about. President Kufuor also followed up with some 5 days tour of the Ashanti region as well. So you can say a combined 20 days between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and President Kufuor in the stronghold of the MPP, the Ashanti region. And guess what? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, after spending 15 days, went back to the region just about 2 or 3 days ago for the commissioning of a STEM project in there. John Mahama is spending 6 days, the last 6 days into in fact, this is the last lap of his campaign, and he's spending it in the stronghold of the NPP. That's the Ashanti region. 6 days, and already getting into the last days of that 6 days. And the vote target that the NPP has for this 2024 election in the Ashanti region is 85%. That's their target. 85%. It's not what happened before. It's an unprecedented target based on the history that we have in this country and based on our election over the period. But they're confident. They say it is possible. They're going to achieve it. The NDC is talking about 35%. They have also not gotten 35% in the Ashanti region before. But I will tell you what Musa Dankwa thinks. But if you want to put some numbers to it, here's the trend analysis. I'm going to put that on the screen right now. From 1992 up until 2020, both parties have not achieved the target that they intend to achieve in this 2024 election before. From 96, can look 65.8%, the NDC polled 32.8% in the Ashanti region. In the year 2000, we had a first election on a runoff, you see 74.7%. And in fact, fast forward into that election in 2016, that the NPP had a good showing in the Ashanti region. The highest they've had is a little over 76% in that region. That's the Ashanti region. That's 2016. With that historic victory for the MPP, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And the NDC showing in 2016 was also 23.3%. Their lowest if you compare to the year 2000 as well, 22.5%. In the year 2020, the NDC inched up to 26.5%. And you see the NPP also dimming in terms of their performance in the Ashanti region in the 2020 election, 72.8%. That's why when you listen to the Dr. Adomako who spoke before John Mahama, he says they should turn up like 2016, because he knows that the 2020 election, they didn't have a good showing in the Ashanti region. That's he referenced 2016 because it's 76%. Quite apart from that, there are 47 seats in the region up for grabs. But in the 47, we have outlined about 10 of these constituencies to look out for, and we're going to run through it quite shortly right now. The Kwabre East constituency is one to watch. One in terms of the voters' population size in there. Because even though the Ashanti region is big, and in fact the NDC would have to, if the MPP wins this 85%, they would have to win about 3 or 4 regions to be able to match up to that 85% the MPP is talking about. And then you have Echima, Kwanwa, Oforikrom, Ejiso, and Aswasi as well, and this is held by the NDC. That's Mohamed Mutaka Mubarak. He is going into this election as well. But let's get on to Zoom right now. Mr. Dankwa is Executive Director of Global Info Analytics. Mr. Dankwa, prior to this moment, in fact, over the last almost 2 years, you have been testing the pulse of the voters in this particular region, the Ashanti region. Now, from where you sit, this target of 85% by the MPP, is it possible?
Alfred, thank you very much. I mean, let's quickly look at history. I mean, to get 85% in Ashanti region, it means that MPP will collapse NDC to around 15%. And that's even not taking into account what Alan Mbediako could get in the Ashanti region, which means that NDC could may likely fall to 12 or 11% per that estimation. And we know historically, the minimum NDC has done in the Ashanti region was 22%. That was in 2004. So they have never fallen below 21% before, historically. Because the vote that NDC has in Ashanti is a core vote. And unless that vote has shrunk, there's no way proportion of that vote will translate into 15% of the current Ashanti region voting population. So that number is impossible to achieve.
85% you say is impossible to achieve. How about if you flip it around, the NDC, 35%. That's what they are targeting as well in the Ashanti region for the NDC.
You know, that one is a very far-fetched. I mean, it's another ambitious target that I don't think they can achieve it. Even in their best times in the past, they couldn't get that. If they hover around that number, then it means something seismic could have happened in Ashanti region for that to happen.
You said, what has to happen before that? Getting that something seismic, you say?
Having happen in Ashanti region for NDC to reach 35%. I don't believe they get 35%. At best, maybe 30%.
30%. We'll see how things play out. It's 4 days away from today. We're back shortly after this quick break. We'll hear from Daniel Demelovo shortly. Stay with us.
How can we solve the unemployment crisis in Ghana? Yes, Massa.
By using formula 133.
Can you expatiate?
Say, this simply means 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. That is the Mahama 24-hour economy policy. Under this policy, businesses will be given tax incentives, cheaper electricity, financial support, and security support services to encourage them to work 24/7 by adopting 3 work shifts of 8 hours each. This will triple job opportunities in the country. This policy will boost production, increase productivity, and generate well-paying jobs in all participating businesses and public organizations.
Excellent. The 24-hour policy will be a game changer.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Over the last 8 years, we've seen an insensitive government, a government that has made corruption the order of the day, and a government that has put most Ghanaians into poverty. In 2022 alone, 825,000 Ghanaians fell into poverty. As I speak to you now, 41% of Ghanaians are described as multidimensionally poor. Our unemployment rate is 14.7%, double what the current administration MPP came to meet. 2.1 million people unemployed, most of them women, most of them young people at the prime of life who should be earning and taking care of themselves and basically building families. They are at home, stuck with nothing to do, waiting for a change. John Mahama represents that change. He represents empathy, sensitivity, in contrast to the arrogance that we have seen over the last 8 years, in contrast with the selfishness that we have seen over the last 8 years. John is determined, as he has pronounced in the 24-hour economy, to rebuild this country with your help, with your support, with your energy, so that we can reconstruct our country and make it what it should be, able to feed all its people, able to house all its people, able to school all its people, and able to ensure that all its people are healthy.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC. Coming up next on Ghana Tonight, we ask, what kind of leader does Ghana need? Let's
us indeed have your views, your thoughts and opinions on this. And it's a question that we put on our social media handles. A number of you have been commenting on. But this is the verdict of the former Auditor General of the Republic of Ghana, that's Daniel Yao Demelovo, on the qualities that he will be looking out for on December 7 and who to vote for. Take a look.
Leader. The T stands for a trustworthy leader. A leader in whom we can repose our trust. Not a leader who looks into our face and tell it and later on say, ah, so you were trusting me. He's even surprised that you believe what he said himself. That is not the type of leader we are looking at. The H stands for a leader who is honest. When things are going right, he says, yes, we made it. But when things are not going well, he doesn't use figures to disturb our peace. He says, you see the calculation, the data and etc. Even though things were deteriorating, our deterioration is better. So let's look for a leader who is honest to say we have failed, but this is how we are addressing it. Even as a father, you must always be honest that this one, I made it wrong. I made a mistake. I won't do it again. I'm addressing it this way. Because if you are a leader who is not honest, the day even you speak the truth, nobody believes it. I hope you have reached that point. Tell me, Ghanaians, have you not reached that point? Now, when you hear something from a politician, you don't believe it. Say, we are going to do this. Say, we hear. So we need a leader who is what? Honest. Then the E stands for a leader who is equitable. As you use your four-wheel drive, get a transport system for the others. So there must be equity in sharing of resources. So a leader who thinks about the other people. And when it comes to equity or sharing of things, I remember my father, let me share a quick joke that my father shared with me when I qualified as a chartered accountant. My father called me, he's actually a village champion. So he said, Daniel, you know, I'm not as educated as you, I've not been to school before. So there is need for equity. As you develop your area, make sure other areas are also receiving the same type of development. Create opportunity for the people, not only for a few people. Equity is very important. In any society where there's lack of equity, there's always tension.
That's Daniel Yao Demelovo's verdict on the qualities of the kind of leader that he is going to look out for, and he recommends that for you as well, going into December 7th. That leads us to the Voice of the People segment. Imano Samani is connecting with me right now with the people's voice on this question of what kind of leader does Ghana need. Imano, take it over.
Good evening, welcome to the People's Voice, coming to you live from Odona here around Circle, and this is the People's Voice tonight. We're talking about leadership. What kind of leader does Ghana need going forward, especially after this crucial election, which is happening in just 4 days? So let's get the thoughts and perspectives of the people here, what they think, what kind of leader they think Ghana needs, and let's get talking. Chief, what kind of leader do you think we need as a country right now?
All right, thank you very much. My name is Onakwabi Johnson. You see, right now, no, we need a leader who put Ghana first. We don't need a leader who just come and say anything that he wants. Whenever the power is being granted to him, he will just go and do anything that he wants. We need a leader who put Ghana first. We need a leader who run the country as if he doesn't do it well, he would die. I mean, those are the kind of leaders that we need. We need a charismatic leader, a leader who will think about his people, a leader who...
So someone who's selfless.
Anything that your members are going to or the citizens are going to, you feel it.
So empathetic.
Absolutely. That's what we need in this country.
Right. Right. Let's get some more thoughts. Chief, you heard from your colleague. What kind of caliber of leader do you think we require?
I'll go with what my colleague just said. But to add to it, we just need leaders who are passionate about the country as a whole, putting their parties aside, and when given the power, they take the power to, how do I put it, develop the country, but not for their personal interests.
Right.
We've seen from years and years now, it's like each party is for themselves. They come, they make sure they develop some key...
They enrich themselves,
yes,
and then...
And employing family and friends, making the whole system, I don't know the word to use, yeah. So we just need people who will be passionate about the country, putting the country first.
Okay, putting the country first, you say. Chief, what about you?
Okay, as my colleagues have already said, we need a media, we need a president who is God-fearing person, will not be like, he's going to be independent on himself, but it should be independent. It should not be independent on himself, but it should be respectful as they want the post, how they are doing, coming down for yourself. After the post, they will be
proud.
But be proud of themselves, but they should be come as they are now when we vote for them. That is what we need about.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, you've heard that these are the kind of leaders they think that Ghana needs going forward as a country. And that's by the way of People's Voice. With me, Emmanuel Samani. Back to you in the studio, Alfred.
Oh, no, thank you. That's it for Ghana Tonight. On behalf of the rest of the team, we do appreciate your company. Join us same time tomorrow for another conversation. I'm Alfred Conse. Have a good night.
Tonight is brought to you by Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Nation Builder.
Don Mahama waya 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 Don Mahama tuchikoko. Come on, hey, come on, hey. Don Mahama waya 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 waya
A nation builder is one with vision, a planner, and a master tactician.
How well I have done my part in running my lap of that relay. What that verdict will ultimately be, I cannot say. I can only say that I have done my best, giving my all.
In almost 8 years, what is the verdict of this proclamation?
One day on television, I will kneel down and say, Mahama, I am sorry. And someone may kafan who say, "Oh, you're an angel."
Say one day,
Mahama was an angel.
Mahama Kafra. Maybe you this in you, but I stand for the truth. Mahama, sorry.
Oh, I'll take this opportunity to apologize to the former president. I mean, His Excellency John Mahama.
And yesterday, I was bold to apologize to President Mahama because he's a fine gentleman.
Corruption, Nanaba times 10. Mahama, this year, the Facha Ghana from the Facha and the Facha.
The 5 years ago, up at your mama chopper, but no physical. Maybe the Japan show. My body will be the Mama, my body will be.
Missing someone making kafa Mahama who part that time you piece of Mahama you come forward you say, not Mahama angel.
My life wasn't always like this. I worked in a bank and had money in bonds to cushion me for the future. Then, with a stroke of a pen, my life was destroyed. My bank was part of the 420 financial institutions which the MPP government recklessly collapsed. What was to become the life of the workers? No one in this insensitive government cared. And suddenly, I was jobless. Their incessant borrowing also led to a debt restructuring program that affected me, and just like that, a significant portion of my lifetime investment vanished. Even worse, my lifetime savings from 30 years of hard work has been rendered useless due to the continuous depreciation of the city and extremely high cost of living in the country. Now, look at me. The fruits of my toil and sweat have all gone down the drain because of bad leadership. What to eat with my children is even a struggle. God, help me and the many who share in my pain. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Change must come.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
This program is rated PG. It contains scenes of brief nudity, mild violence, and strong language. Parental guidance is advised.
Was brought to you by
MTN, Cowbell Coffee, Yamvita, Onga, Kivo 100% natural hot pepper, Casim's Baby.